So this is after I've just made the video of being hacked out of my Facebook account, and so um, as soon as I finish that video and that statement that I'll never stop standing up for what's right and reporting and challenging corrupt authority in the form of law enforcement and judicial misconduct here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, they allowed me back into the account on my tablet. So I took screenshots of, well, at least I attempted to take screenshots of the device. But as you can see up in the corner, they remotely disabled my tablet's ability to take a screenshot of their device that was, or that is perhaps still on my account. So going through this process here will allow me to, I think, review what changes may have been made. I'm not sure. So let's see. To keep your account secure, please review your account activity from the last 2 weeks and make sure any changes came from you. Let's start with this. It used to be Facebook would review all the changes that have been made and would show them to you and then would reverse anything that I didn't recognize as a change that I did. But I've been up all day and I'm having a hard time looking at this. Let's see. Yeah, so these are the devices. Device unknown. Device type. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna log out of those. Hopefully it's not gonna log me out of this session. And it did. Isn't that nuts? It didn't even tell me which one of the devices was mine. Huh. Oh, great. Oh, great. All right, so now let me show you something what my hackers have done. I have this. Hold on. I have this Bluetooth keyboard that I bought. And if I use the keyboard to type passwords, then it will mask the characters of the password. But if I don't, and I just use the regular keyboard, then they can see on my screen everything I'm doing, at least on this tablet. I believe also on my smartphone. But my smartphone, my new smartphone, allows me to use my Bluetooth to type in passwords. But with this device, with this tablet, they've blocked my ability to connect the Bluetooth keyboard to this device. So I'm going to attempt to do this now so you can see what I'm talking about. So that's my keyboard. And it's going to ask me to type in a key. See, and before I can even type it, finish typing it, it blocks out. So there, I got it. Still doesn't work. So now I'm forced to enter the password in the way that they can see it, the hackers can see it. Boo. Okay, so what I just did recently is I downloaded the Google keyboard instead of the keyboard that my tablet normally comes with. Oh. And it apparently is not popping up the letters, so maybe they won't be able to see this. I'm not sure. No. Here I have to concentrate. Okay. That went much simpler than I expected. So I don't know why I didn't require a second verification. Maybe that was the hacker trying to help me get back into my account after making this revealing video. So under settings, okay, security, login. Okay, so that's my device, as you can see there at the top. And the reason why it says it's in the Netherlands is because it's the Tor browser VPN is working and funneling my connection through different countries, because that's how it works, kind of like a VPN. And so now the hacker is gone, and so perhaps oh, okay, good. So now I should be able to hopefully reverse anything they would have done. Of course, I'm not 100%. Again, I've been up for longer than 24 hours studying and getting proofs together and trying to get to filing workers' compensation and claim, and I ended up spending the whole day trying to figure out how to better fortify my devices with security measures, and also to figure out how to get the hacker off of my Xfinity home Wi-Fi system. I'm not a computer whiz, but I've had to learn so much, that I would not have elected to on my own about computer technology and hacking and all that cyberspace crime and stuff. And I've been a target of it for more than a year now. And that's because I've made complaints to the FBI. I forwarded them my information, and they haven't contacted me back. But I've also been hacked out of the accounts that they would contact me via email anyway. But I included my phone number in complaints that I made to them, and I would consider myself at odds with the local law enforcement, and I don't trust them, and I've made complaints about officers before against them, and the reports always reflect that the officers lie. And that's the Ann Arbor Police Department. And I don't think that they would take this kind of case seriously unless there was some substantial loss. So even though these proofs are important to me, some of which are proofs for court cases that I have, I'm not quite sure that they would measure that I've suffered a substantial loss, even though this is a legitimate crime. And in fact, there's a case that I was involved with the Ann Arbor Police Department, in which I purchased an Apple iPad from someone, and it turned out that possibly that person may have stolen it. And so I tried contacting the iCloud user. The iCloud user would not reveal to me that it was stolen. He just said that it was his son's, and he was willing to give me $100 to get it back. And then he showed up at a shelter I was staying at, and instead of coming with $100, he came, and then he let a police in the vestibule that we were talking in, and the police put me in handcuffs, and then they took the device, and just on sight alone, they gave the device back to the guy, and then they took me in for questioning, and then they coerced me to tell them who I bought it from, or they were going to keep my only means of communication, which was a cell phone at the time. So I told them, but then the next day I ended up getting kicked out of the shelter that I was staying at and rendered homeless. But how that, what that has to do with cybercrime is the person who they gave the device back to, the iPad device, he logged into my Google accounts instead of erasing my accounts from the device. He accessed my accounts after the police gave him back the device. He did, or maybe the police did, but I have the proofs of that, and screenshot form. So maybe I'll load those up with this posting. But there you have it. I mean, you be the judge. You know, if the police are reckless enough in their operations to violate my civil rights in that circumstance, the guy never even presented a receipt that he bought it. You know, it just so happens that his son's name was listed as the iCloud user, and so that was enough for the police to believe that it was his device and give it back to him, even though I had paid money for it. And so there didn't appear to be any other additional investigation to substantiate the ownership of that device. And of course, I was never charged with anything, but ever since that incident, every one of my Google accounts have been hacked into. I've had maybe 8 or 9 Google accounts since then. And so I just opened 2 more with the new device and this Bluetooth keyboard that I mentioned in the previous video, and maybe they're not on those 2 Google accounts, but I believe that because of that circumstance, law enforcement has continued to unlawfully surveillance me, in part through my Google accounts, with every device that I've ever had since then attached to those Google accounts, probably to monitor what I would do about the original circumstance, which now is almost 2 years past. But because they've recklessly and unlawfully continued to harass me and keep surveillance on me, I've continued to catch them in unlawful circumstances that require them to continue surveillance. So it's very childlike. They don't seem to understand the concept that you can't get out of wrongdoing or cover up wrongdoing with wrongdoing, just like you can't dissipate a lie with a lie. Usually a lie requires a lie that requires a lie that requires a lie, and then till you hit a wall and of circumstances, and you're either going to tell the truth or remain contemptible. So, all right. So, what we want to address here is the login thing, because we don't want someone remaining on my account. So, so here, both of these devices say that they're logged in at the same time. I don't understand that. I'm on my Asus tablet right now, so this should be an easy choice. The device type unknown is what I'm going to click here because I don't know it. I'm going to log out of it. All right, so I guess I'll review the post now. Well, that's kind of odd, huh? Well, my Wi-Fi is still going. Actually, it's my hotspot. So, uh, so I'll take my Bluetooth off. What do you think of that? So what I'll do now is I'll switch over to my Xfinity account. And maybe I'll get a signal that will work. Hmm. 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 What's that all about, huh? So it looks like they they got into the account and they probably done something, and then they wanted something taken down, and then um, see, excellent signal. And so now they're hacking me from looking at the activity. So or the changes that would have been made. So uh, so what I'll do then is I'll attempt to finish this, and then I will review the best I can what they may have taken down, and then I will make a subsequent video of what I discovered, and of course I'll do my best to repost it. Huh. Hmm. 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 An unrecognized device tried to access my account. Huh. So I mean, I can't say who that was. So I'm going to say it's not me. Why does it want me to create a new password? Huh. Hmm. Hmm. Well, I, oh, actually, it, this is some kind of hack because I can't even. Oh, okay. All right then. Huh. Phew. Okay. I really wasn't prepared for this, but huh. Hmm. Phew. Um. Hmm. Jeez, I don't know. Mm. My window was open. I didn't even realize that. Oh, I gotta close my window. I mean, my blinds. Oh, dude. Oh. Or I can sit here on the couch and do it. Hmm. Hmm. That's exactly what I typed. So uh, in fact, I'll prove it. See, they match. Um, and in fact, so now what? If they match, I can't even. I can't even. Huh. Weird. I've never experienced all this, but it looks like I got the other person off my account, and um, I'm wondering what would have been taken down.
No, okay.
This is the Comcast Xfinity man that came to hook up the cable box the other day, and you watched that video. Scandalous. Uh, not too long ago, I say about a month ago, I realized that I had a bunch of featured albums that were entitled "Corruption of Various Kind" in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and um, it disappeared. I had a number of those albums, so I don't know if they're gone or someone just broke in my account and um, turned it off. I have yet to catch up with everything that I'm doing um, to research what's the case with that. So um, I know that I have 5 videos of an incident with the Ann Arbor police. So upon leaving, that's the, let's see, 1, 2, they go backwards, 3, 4, 5. So they didn't get those. So um, uh, hmm, hmm, hmm. 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 I know there's a. I don't want to say what it is yet. I just want to make sure that it's here, um, because I don't want to necessarily highlight the post in this context if it doesn't have anything to do with this hacking experience. So it doesn't seem to. Okay. So I have extensive posts. Let's see. I think there's a activity log, right? But I think there's a way hackers can get around that. Uh, yeah, well, only me and whoever would have had access to my account. So, um, so let's see. Let's see. See, they can delete from the activity log. Um, so who knows? Um, but when I'm well rested, I have a good memory, uh, especially of the circumstances that I've experienced personally. So, um, okay, I'm just going to leave it at that, as opposed to speculating um, what they could have taken. So, this is the city that all this shit happens in. And that's the mayor, and that's the police chief, and that judge, chief judge of the 15th District Court, Van Arbor, Michigan. Um, I've personally experienced his, um, how would one say, mm, extremely prejudiced judgment and uh, very biased conduct, which I am inclined to believe rises to the occasion of an offense of the judicial codes of conduct of the state of Michigan. And it is my intent eventually um, to somehow appeal the matter, um, if just in principle. But nonetheless, it was a judgment that rendered me homeless um, by giving this person here of University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, Alexander Raskine, an opportunity to conduct fraud against the court by not accepting my payments towards the judgment that was rendered so passionately and um, um, judicially prejudiced against me, which has led actually to a charge against me for breaking into our shared apartment when in fact I was evicted by an officer of the court who wouldn't give me her name or her credentials or validate her name and credentials. nor did she serve me personally with the eviction order. And I have a video of that, which is probably or maybe the video that they took down. But I'm not going to go digging for that because I have copies of that. So his name is Joseph Burke, and his name is that's right, and his name is Alexander Raskin. So they may both be Jewish, but I know Alexander Raskin is Jewish, and the mayor is Jewish, and well, obviously the police chief isn't Jewish. Although, well, I can't say that. You can't tell by looks, but it wouldn't matter if the police chief was. He's surrounded by um, Jewish, unprofessional individuals who hold lawful power that has most likely been abused, in particular against me, and I am not settled or whole about those matters as of today. So this is where those featured albums would have been, in here somewhere. They're gone, so, or they're gone from view, so. Oh, and as a sign off, this is where the magic has been happening these days. And that's the Xfinity Comcast cable box with 2 channels. .4 gigahertz and a 5 gigahertz, but yet the 5 gigahertz signal is not reachable with my devices or my codes. So it's likely the case, or it could be the case, that the hacker is using that signal or channel to view my conduct on the internet and to interfere with it. So I'll have to get into my Xfinity account and find out what that's all about, and then if necessary, call them about it. But you can watch the video of the incident with the Comcast man posted before this one.